All right. Welcome to the Danny Miner podcast. Oh my God, it's episode 27 again. And who do we have back with us? Pete, you were on my podcast maybe about 6-7 months ago, right?
That's right. It's been a long time, Danny, but I'm so glad to be back. Man,
I'm liking the new set. What do you think? I think it looks cool.
It's fantastic, brother. I absolutely love it. I love the branded decal. I love the microphone. I was just noticing that, and of course the background. This setup on top to bottom is really cool. So, man,
I like it too. I like it, man. It looks really good.
Thanks for having me.
Listen, Pete, listen. We got to talk about, I know you're sick of talking about it. I know you are. But Pete Pitts, there it is. We got one already. Could you see the comment?
Hey, Angela, yes, I see. I'm tuning in so I can also see the comments here. What's up, Angela? How you doing? Much love. I love Angela. She's always showing love and support. And I mean, I can't say enough about my fans and your fans, our fans.
Listen, I'll tell you what, man. Our followers, my followers do everything for me. I couldn't be as successful as I am without my followers, especially Debbie and Angela. They help me daily. When I go live and everything. They're the helpers.
Yes, they're amazing. If we actually have some time towards the end of this show, I had a few questions I wanted to run to you, Danny, just to talk about what that was like for you to have such a huge engagement. You're almost at 500,000 followers on all platforms, aren't you?
Dude, I'm honest to God. I have counting all platforms. Yeah, probably. You're probably right. Probably about 500,000 followers I have.
Yeah.
Yep.
At some point, I mean, I guess I could just ask you that really quick. What does it feel like to know that at any given time you could have 500,000 people watching you, listening to you, engaging with you? What is that like?
Pete, I'll be honest with you. I went live twice. One time, I mean, I've been live a bunch of times, but my 2 times that it was just insane. Kohlberger, if you remember the Kohlberger case with Idaho.
Oh yeah, I do. Yeah.
He murdered the college students.
Yeah.
I went live the day he got arrested. Like that night I went live. Pete, I had 27,000 people on my live. It was insane.
Oh.
And then I went live when there was an incident at the Scranton Wilkes-Barre airport when I was flying home. And I had 10,000 people watch my live then. And then last night I was live, and usually your live's a couple hundred people, 300-400 people, and then it dwindles down to 100. But people asking me questions and this and that. Honestly, Pete, I got off last night and I thought, I was just a small town cop. Honest to God. I'm not some big city detective that investigated 75 homicides a year. That wasn't me. We had 13 homicides probably my whole entire career. Do you know what I'm saying here?
Yeah.
So for people following me, it's amazing. What I'm saying is I never thought it would happen to me. Never.
Yeah.
Never ever.
You deserve
I really did.
You deserve it. And I mean, you are one of the most, I'm always telling people about you. You're one of the most entertaining, charismatic, passionate people out here. So if anyone deserves these platforms, it's you, man. So keep it up, brother. That's all I can say.
Man, dude, I appreciate that. But listen, let's talk about you because let's be honest, you're the real star here, Pete.
Well,
let's be honest.
I appreciate it. I am, I'm definitely, I've been blessed. I've been honored. Being part of The Walking Dead really changed my life. The moment that I first set foot on The Walking Dead set, it was just so surreal. And the fact that I got to start on that show with Jeffrey Dean Morgan's character as Negan, that was just such a dream come true. And I didn't even, honestly, at that time, I didn't even know The Walking Dead. I didn't know the story. I just knew what the show was. But to know that I was starting at such a huge moment was crazy. I've had so many ups and downs, and it's been a blessing. But I will tell everyone out there watching, including you, Danny, that anyone can make it, man. It's never too late. I didn't start on my first movie set till I was like 29. So I know people who are in their 60s who are just getting started in acting. You can make it at any age. You can make it no matter where you are in life.
Listen, we talked about this before. I do look like Negan. I'm just shorter, right?
Yeah, yeah, you do. You look like Negan's slightly shorter brother, but equally. I would
Maybe
say,
a foot shorter. Maybe
yeah,
a foot shorter.
and maybe not as mean. That's what I'd say. But yeah, you got the silver going on. I
Yep.
just saw Jeffrey Dean Morgan in a new movie, or it's a few years old. It's called The Postcard Killers. Have you seen that one?
No, I don't think I did.
I think you would enjoy it because it's a murder mystery, it's a thriller, it's a drama, and of course, you have all the intensity of Jeffrey Dean Morgan. He almost has a little bit of that Negan character, but he's just such an astounding actor. The crazy thing about him is every single day on set, when the cameras were rolling, I saw Negan. I saw my boss man on The Walking Dead. But as soon as the cameras cut, he just snapped into Jeffrey Dean Morgan. He's just a good, lovable guy. He's just a good old guy, from
He
up.
seems he seems like that, Pete. And
Yeah,
like Pete, we talked about, and I know we talked about this last time, but I was live last night. My followers wanted me to talk about it again. Me
right.
and you got lucky and got on a movie set together,
We did.
right?
We did. We got very lucky to be on part of that. That was actually one of the list of things that I had to talk about as well. So we can tell everyone now it's called Easy's Waltz. And
Yep.
have you heard any details about the release? Because I still have not yet. As far as I know, it's still not announced. I've been watching Nick, the director, and as far as I know, it's still in the archives, right?
Yep. It is not announced, but I'm going to tell you this, Pete. I've been looking to see, like, going through the cast. There
Yeah,
is some background actors with their names in there. I don't see mine and yours yet. We got to get our names on there.
we got
How do
to.
we get our names on there, Pete?
Yeah, so I will say that a lot of times, sometimes a background actor, and I noticed this on The Walking Dead, sometimes the background actors will just automatically credit themselves when they worked on a movie before the movie comes out, and often like that's kind of like frowned upon by the production, and the production will not actually give you the IMDb credit. So a lot of people might be shooting themselves in the foot if they're trying to self-credit themselves. However,
Okay.
However, with that being said, you never know. I mean, if you're super featured, or if you have an extreme close up with the actor, anything's possible. And the other cool thing about movie sets is you can start off as a background actor and you can instantly get upgraded to get a line. I've seen Tyler Perry walk up to people multiple times on set and say, "Hey, say this line, sir." Okay, you're hired. You now have a part. So who knows,
Yeah.
man? Who knows what can happen out of this?
And you know what? That goes back, and we talked about this before, but I got so many new followers.
Yeah,
That almost happened to me and you on the set of Easy's Waltz.
it did. We both got, man,
Yeah.
I forget the character's name, but we both had the soft audition for that character on
Yes.
set. And
They were looking for an older guy to be
yeah,
the wife of one of the main characters. Not a wife. I'm sorry, the wife. I mean the boyfriend of one of the
right,
main characters.
yeah,
And me and Pete, they both looked at me and Pete, and we were both like possibly getting that part.
yeah.
We were both like this close to getting that part.
We were so close. Yeah, they weren't looking for the wife; they were looking for the husband. The wife would have been a different kind of movie, but
Yes.
this one was a more wholesome movie. But you and me both fit the role. The first thing they said when the director came to us, they said, "We're looking for a handsome, attractive man." Remember that?
And that was us, Pete. That
Yeah.
was us.
Oh, you're looking at me? I said, I can see why you're choosing Danny, but you want me? And then I said, okay, cool. Let's go for
You
it.
know,
Let's do it.
Pete, you know what my ego? I said, "Yep, that's me. I'm the handsome guy. Put me in."
I love it. That was one of the most fun movies I've ever worked on. That was my number 54 or 55th major movie. And we got to sing Happy Birthday to Al Pacino. He turned 84 on set when we were there that day. It was just incredible. Learning from Al Pacino, watching Vince Vaughn. Vince Vaughn is really a masterclass in acting. That guy is such a consummate professional, isn't he?
Yes. And I'm going to tell you this. This was my first movie, guys, and it was so much fun. And I'm hoping this is my goal, Pete, and I hope it's for you too. I hope we make the trailer. If we make the trailer,
Yes. I mean, it's very possible. We were in multiple scenes. The people out there, they don't know how much we were actually in this movie. But
yes.
I mean, we both together, we were in a lot of scenes. There's a great chance to make the trailer.
Yeah. I would say you're definitely going to see us a lot in the movie. And I think we got a shot to make the trailer if they do one of the singing scenes. I think we got a shot, you know?
I did a few of the dancing scenes as well. Did you get to dance a little bit?
I did not dance. Listen, Pete, I'm a total white guy when it comes to dancing.
Yeah.
You don't want to see my dancing.
Hey, Me too, but maybe that's why they were filming it. I don't know if it's going to make the final cut, but it was definitely fun to be out there. I had my little movie girlfriend or my movie wife at the moment, and we were really just spinning around in circles. But it was when Vince Vaughn encouraged everyone to get up and dance. So I was like, okay, if Vince Vaughn's going to tell me to dance, I guess I'll do it. I guess I'll show how clumsy I am out here on the dance floor.
And you know what? To the people out there, I want to tell you this, and I'm being sincere about this. Vince Vaughn is a very nice guy. He treated us all with respect. After each scene, he said, "Thank you for the energy." Energy. He's great.
Yeah,
He was awesome.
absolutely. People have reputations in the industry, and Vince Vaughn's one of those guys that out of 100 movies and TV shows, 106 total, I've never once heard anyone that's worked with Vince that has said a bad word about him. It's always been like, he's funny, he's a pro, he's very serious about his craft. And I mean, just the way he interacted with us, that just shows you, like, he reminds me of Jeffrey Dean Morgan on set. Just a really good guy. When the cameras are, he's serious about doing that role. He's serious about portraying that character. But as soon as it's cut, he's like, hey, I'm just Vinny. I'm just Vinny Vaughn, you know?
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, Pete. The first scene I did with him, because I did that one scene, we can't really talk about it, but the scene that I did with him, I mean, I was right next to him. I was there with them for 8 hours almost that day.
Yeah.
And I can tell you this, man, he was just, it made me respect the craft. Seeing him get into his mindset to be sad and happy. Folks, I hate to say this, but it's a hard job. Like, to do that, to film a movie and be the main character, that's a hard ass job. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, it really is. Part of it is just you have to have a certain appearance that they're going for that character. Part of it is, yes, you have to be able to memorize lines. But what a lot of people don't understand, and it's funny, ironic, I was actually just talking to my younger bro, Avi, who's out in Los Angeles right now. He's working in the film industry. And we were talking about how you really have to take this seriously as a master class. You really have to, if you really want to be an actor and you want this to be your bread and butter and pay your bills, you really have to understand how to get into a character. Understand if you're going to be a method actor, if you're going to be a character actor. You don't have to get super technical and say, oh, I identify with this technique or that. But you do have to take it so seriously that you're not just like rolling into set and jumping out of the car and saying, okay, where are the cameras? Where's lunch? It's not like that. Like, it is a hard job, but it's a lot of emotional content. It's a lot of from the heart and from the mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you know what? I want to tell you something. I don't think I talked to you about this. I've had a couple of auditions for movies since. Nice. And I tried out for this part where I had to be like a character in this movie. It was a kid's movie. I was going to be a character and I had to have an English accent, right?
Yeah.
and listen, I'm telling you, Pete, I took it serious to the point that I practiced all night. And I'll be honest with you, we were waiting for our audition. There was probably 300 people. The main guy comes out from the audition. He said, if you don't know your lines, leave now. Don't even come in. And I'll be honest with you, Pete, I almost got up and left. I thought, I'm fucking out of here.
No, man.
But listen, the guy that don't quit in me said, no, I'm going outside. I went outside. I learned the lines really good. You know what I mean? Absolutely. And then I went in there, and you know what, Pete? I killed it. I did. I killed it. And what they did was, I don't know if you are familiar with this, but they said they picked the top 3, then they send top 3 to the networks, and then the networks decide or whatever. That's what they were telling me. Anyway, they told me I made the top 3.
That is epic, bro. That's amazing. I mean, just to make like the top 20 or the top 50 out of 300 is amazing. You're the top of your class. So you have what it takes. I mean, remember what I told you the first day on set? I said, Danny, this is just the beginning for you. I said, I can already see you on many, many more major movies. You have the charisma. And what did you tell me? You said, well, the hardest part was memorizing lines for you initially, if I'm not mistaken. But
yes.
That while that is a challenge, yes, you've got pretty much everything else that it takes. The rest of it is like technical stuff, learning how to hit your mark, remembering the timing of like when to put your coffee down in the scene, stuff like that. You know? But I mean, you've got the natural it factor. You've got what the casting directors are looking for. You've got what the big Hollywood directors are looking for. We just need to get you seen by more of them, which they're already looking. They're noticing already. So.
Listen, I got to tell you real quick. People will love this. When I first did my audition, I did it very theatrical. Nice. I was supposed to be like, I was talking to this kid. I don't want to say the kid's name because it'll give the movie away. Okay. But basically, I'm telling this kid, this is what you are meant to be in this house. And I raised my hands. But Pete, I made it very theatrical. And the guy looks at me and he goes, okay, bring the theatrics down a little bit.
I love it though. That was your instinct to go theatrical, and there is a difference between theater acting and film acting, but it's a very subtle difference that you don't understand sometimes until you're on set. But you see that like, the big movements that you need for a stage, you can kind of tone it down a little bit on a movie set because it's subtlety. So do you want to do your accent for the crowd out here? Do you want to
No, man, I totally forgot it. I could never do that accent.
Okay. I was gonna say I know that people would love to hear it, but hey, you know, maybe you can post some videos later in your French or your British accent. That might be epic.
Listen, what we did was we practiced like a week before, and I was going to do the French character at my acting class. So I practiced with this French character at first, but I was really bad with the French character, man. I was horrible, Pete.
So you feel like you had the natural British accent going, right? You felt
yes.
confident.
Yes.
Well, that's the one that will get you to do at some point whenever you're ready. You can even do a little short video, but just, you know, the fans would love to hear that. And at the end of the day, you know, you did great. You know, you gave it your all. 300 people. That's a lot. That's a lot of competition.
I'll be honest with you. I felt like, and you know what? When I came out of there, Pete, like I think you probably had this feeling before. Like I felt I did good. Do you know what I mean? Like I came out of it and I was confident.
Absolutely. And
you know,
what I've learned is the hardest work, or really like the most challenging work about filming and being an actor, is the audition process. Because sometimes we go in there and we kill it. We know we killed it. But guess what? Sometimes the casting director or the director or the producer or the writer just says, hey, they're not exactly perfect for this role. But guess what? If you kill your audition, they're going to remember you. They're going to remember Danny Miner. So they may not have thought you were perfect for that role, possibly, but I guarantee you they're going to remember you. So when the next audition comes up, they're going to be like, oh, it's Danny Miner again. Cool. Bring him on down.
Yeah.
You know?
And I'll be honest with you, that my followers are saying in there, Angela, Debbie, these guys, I believe Angela sent me a video on how to get an English accent.
Nice.
So I mean, my followers helped me. Everybody helped me. I didn't do it on my own.
Love it, bro. Hey, that's amazing. Hey, I'll take any help if I can get it. You know, I'll take all the help I can get out here.
And you know what? Let me ask you something here. Like backstage, have you ever signed up for backstage?
Yeah, definitely. When I first moved to Atlanta back in 2015, it's been 10 years now, I pretty much signed up for every single casting website I could possibly find. So the more casting websites I'm part of, the bigger my chances will be, the more movies I'll potentially be part of. So I was part of Backstage. I haven't been on Backstage in a long time, but it was definitely one that in my beginning days, I was literally scouring every single website, castingauditions.com, Auditions Free, Backstage. I mean, you name it, and I was on there. Project Casting, Actors Access, of course. So there's definitely ones that I like.
The reason I'm saying that, Pete, is you know that Vegas is going to become Hollywood too. It's coming. Absolutely. You know what I mean? They're building 3 new studios. It's going to be Hollywood too. And, you know, I would like to make a part-time income doing background. Even background, maybe get a line here or there. So do you recommend, since I don't have an agent anymore, people know I got rid of my agent. What do you recommend going on Backstage or no?
You know, I would say at least it's going to give you a good possibility to see what is out there. So I would recommend using it as a networking tool, using it as a resource to see what shows are being filmed. But ultimately, getting a good agent and getting a good West Coast agent for you for LA and Vegas market is going to be the big key. And just because they're able to get you those exclusive auditions, whereas yes, you can get some background jobs on your own, but the chances of getting the big role that you're really geared for are going to be a lot slimmer by going directly through Backstage. So yes, you can definitely do it. You can definitely get on set and you can make some moves and make things happen. But I think you're at the level now where the right agent is going to absolutely love you. The right agent and the right management is going to say, wow, Danny Miner, this is the guy I need. This is the guy that's going to make me money. They're going to see that. So
I hope so, Pete. I'm waiting for this.
So I'm definitely going to, do everything I can to help you get out there and, help you find that right agent and that right representation. because, you know, the right agent, they will work for you. And I speak from existence as having the wrong agents in the past myself. So I've made the mistakes. I've also done the scam websites. There are actually scam agencies. There are scam companies who they actually want you to pay them, and they say, we'll get you auditions now. We'll get you roles. Well, guess what? You can get those same auditions and those same roles all by yourself. You do not need to pay a company or agency for a free audition or a free submission, you know, because you got to remember the difference. As a background actor, you're submitting your look because you're not speaking generally. But as a speaking role audition, you're auditioning instead of submitting. So you're at the point now, you're an amazing speaker. You have a great voice. You found your inner voice. Some people are, you know, shy and timid, and you know, working background is perfect for them. But for you, you're a star in the making. You're a star on the rise. So, you know, we need to get you these right auditions. And I would say Actors Access is going to be your best friend for right now while we're getting you the right agent. Actors Access is the best resource. I've done many auditions on there, and it will help connect you with those casting directors right away without an agent.
What's it called, Pete? Actors? What is it? What?
Access.
All right. Will you send me that later tonight?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I highly recommend signing up for Actors Access. It's completely free to sign up, but then you pay to audition. However, you are auditioning directly with the casting directors for that project. Tyler Perry himself posts his audition sometimes to Actors Access. When he gets fed up with the whole gamut of agents that are out there, he says, you know what, I want some fresh talent. So I'm going to submit his project directly to Actors Access, and you or me can go on there. Back when I was doing it on a regular basis, it was like $2 per submission, or you can pay a monthly fee, which is very reasonable. But it's totally legit, totally worth it. I've seen lots of people go on Actors Access and get a life-changing job. I'm talking about from nothing to a $30,000 contract. You know, it can definitely happen. Yeah. And
listen, I definitely want that.
Angela is saying that you need to be a submissive, so I don't know what she's talking about. Bad. But I don't know.
Pete, some girl last night told me she wanted to put me in handcuffs on my live last night.
Oh, Lord. These handcuffs right here, I got them right here. Yeah, actually, I wore these, and I wore my dog tag and my little ring because I'm excited that I actually have my first ever brand ambassadorship deal. My first ever.
Oh, that's right. I got dog tags too.
Nice. Okay, awesome. Yeah. So, you know, I wear the dog tags. They're significant for my father, who was in the U.S. Army, as well as my brother, Matt, who he protects and serves in law enforcement. And of course, everyone I know who has protected and served. So to me, it's significant, but it's really cool to actually have a brand come to me and say, hey, we like you enough that we want you to wear our products, and we're going to give you products to wear for free. So that's a blessing. Right. I know you have some brand endorsement deals. Did you want to talk about any of your brands today, or like are they kind of on
Listen, Pete, you're gonna laugh at this. The one brand deal I had like 6 months. It's probably about 8 or 9 months ago. Yeah. It was from a hair company, a men's hair company.
Okay,
they sent me all kind of shampoo and soap, and I had to do a video. Pete, let me tell you something. Like, I thought, this shampoo's gonna suck. I gotta be honest. It was good. It was good. It made my hair soft, Pete. It made my hair soft. It was good.
Beautiful. And are you still actively getting partnership referrals from them? Are they actually reaching out to you? Are they sending you more products, or was that just like did that kind of fizzle out?
That was just a one shot deal. Like, when you're on TikTok, they'll reach out to you and say, how much for one video to promote our product? And if you say $300, they'll pay you the $300 for the one. They usually negotiate it. You know what I mean? It's negotiated down.
I see. Okay, got you. Well,
so 9 times out of 10, it's a one-shot deal. But if you get like a full brand deal, that's when you made it, man. That's when you made it. Absolutely. Somebody brand me.
Yeah, you and me are both on our way to that full brand deal. You know, we just got to keep on doing what we're doing, and the companies will recognize it eventually. I've had multiple companies reach out to me and actually want me to be the ambassador of music for them. Either write a song or write a theme or like an advertisement gimmick song. So, you know, as a musical artist, that's a cool thing too that I can tap into. But even just being a speaker, just being a voice, just being a figure out here in social media, they see that. And of course, with your huge following, 500,000 across all platforms, any brand in their right mind is going to want to reach out to you. You know, obviously it has to work out for you. It has to be it has to make sense. But
Pete, I'm going to share something with you. One of my followers sent me.
uh-huh.
It's an app now that you
Yeah,
can join, and it helps brands find you. I will send it to you. So
wow.
I'm going to sign up for this thing because, I mean, as a content creator, brands are going to take you to the next level. It's
Yeah,
just the way it is.
definitely. I've seen so many people's lives change through the right partnership, the right brand deal. So yeah, I definitely want to find out about that. And I love this current tool that we're using, this resource today, StreamYard. Maybe StreamYard can make you an ambassador. Maybe they can make you a partner. I don't know.
I
But
was thinking the same thing. I mean, I did StreamYard, and I'm going to tell you something, guys. And listen, it's not a paid sponsorship, but since you brought it
right,
up,
not yet.
listen, if you do a podcast in a studio, say in Vegas, okay, you're looking at $1,000 for 4 episodes in a month.
Right.
That's insane. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, it's hard to get sponsorship for a podcast.
Yep.
You know, you have to be Joe Rogan. You have to be, it's
Yeah.
hard. So StreamYard comes out with this where you can do your podcast from your own house. You know what I mean? You can't beat it. You can take questions, you can stream.
Yeah.
So it's worth it. It really is. They're paying $1,000 for some podcast studio, you
Yeah.
know?
Absolutely. And it cross-platform streams, correct? To me, that's the
Yeah, I'm watching this right now on Instagram. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, and
beautiful.
we're on YouTube right now.
Wow, that's so amazing. Yeah, I've got us up on the YouTube right here on my computer. So that's amazing, brother. Yeah, you've opened this possibility to me as well. I used to stream a little bit. I used to be somewhat consistent, but you've actually been one of the people that's inspired me to stay hardcore with it and to realize, hey, with consistent content, you can change your life. Didn't you say?
Yes.
Didn't you say in a video recently you've made more money as a streamer than you ever did as a police officer?
Yeah, right now, guys, I'm making more money a month than I did as a cop.
That's amazing.
It's insane. And I'll be honest with you, Pete, like
Yeah.
I was talking to somebody last night and I said, if your kid now is like 15, 16, and he
Right.
says, you know what, I want to be a content creator,
Yeah.
back him. Tell him he
Absolutely.
could do it because that kid could be a millionaire.
Oh
This
yeah.
is the new thing. This is what's going to take you to the next level.
Yeah.
Streaming services, social media. This is the future, guys. It's
Yep.
only going to get bigger.
Absolutely, bro. And you know what, Danny? The funny thing is, I trust you and your content more than I trust the mainstream media. I've got to be honest. One reason is because I know you personally, but even if I didn't know you, just watching you, you can tell that you come off as 100% authentic. You're passionate, you are charismatic, but we can actually see when we viewers are watching the Danny Miner show, the Miner Details, we can see that you mean what you say. You mean business. I've seen you cry tears. I've never seen Anderson Cooper cry tears on CNN. You know,
Right.
you're a real human. You're not a robot. Are you AI or are you real? I think you're real. Hell. Hey, we've got Jonathan Gordon in the house. I just want to say a special shout out to Jonathan Gordon. Thank you for tuning in. Much love. I got some Chattanooga representatives in here.
And you know what, Pete? I'll tell you what, it's important if you want to be successful in life. And we're going to get to your ironic scene where, Negan takes out, what was his name? Glenn. We're going to
Glenn.
get to that scene. But
Yeah.
first off, I want to say to
Glenn.
you, it's important to be around like-minded people.
It
It
really is.
really is. When they say the people you hang around with, I can show you what your life's going to be, that is 100% true. And when
Yeah.
you're on this journey, you're going to lose people that are close to you. They're going to get jealous of you. They're not going to like the person you are now because they like the person you used to be. You
Yeah.
are different now. You are on a journey. You're on for your goals. And meeting you, Pete, I know you're on the same goal. A lot of my followers here are on the same goals, and I love to be around like-minded people.
You're absolutely right, brother. And I feel the same way. And I think the first time we met in person, I believe I told you that. I said, Danny, you're the type of person I want in my circle because I grew up in a small, very, very small town.
Me too.
I just got some fan mail actually yesterday. I don't have it here with me, but one of my friends, Alan Burris, sent me some cool art. He made my face on a cereal box.
I saw it.
Yeah, that was dope. I was like, wow, someone that I've never met actually cares about me enough to make me some art. So I did this little unboxing video on Instagram yesterday. I posted it. And in the beginning of the video, I said, I grew up in absolute poverty where we used to have hunger for dinner and dreams for dessert. We had dreams for dessert, brother. You know, I dreamed of a cupcake. I didn't really have it, but you know, it's funny now. I can laugh about it because my bank account is healthy now. My life is healthy. One thing is because I put myself in the proximity of people like you, people who are going big places in life. I had to get away from small-minded people. I had to get away from that toxic county. I'll call it Meth County. It has a different name. You can look me up and find out where it is, but I call it Meth County. It's just it. And the thing is, sadly, Danny, there's places like that all over the world. I've traveled to 7 different countries. I've been to most of the U.S. states, and when you get to small towns where they don't see opportunities, they just look at Hollywood, they look at social media, and they say, that can never be me. No, that can never be. But guess what? When you start doing it, you see, wait, I can become the best version of myself. I mean, look at you. Did you see yourself where you are today if I had met you 5 years ago?
Never. Guys, and I want to tell you something. What happened to me, I never want to say luck. I think you put yourself in position to get lucky. I always say that. You put yourself in position to get lucky. We all need luck, but you got to put yourself in position to get lucky. I always say that. And what happened was I got on TikTok and I have a big mouth. I know I'm a good speaker. I was a public speaker for years. And I thought, let me just do a fucking video here. And I do the video and it goes to 100,000 and the Crime Solver was born. I got 5,000 followers from that video alone. And the Crime Solver was born after that. And that's when I went full blast.
Now, was that 2021? Do you remember what year that was when that video took off?
That was going to be late 2020.
Okay, 2020. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to say summer 2020. And I bloomed up to like 50,000 followers very quick. You know what I mean? I went up to about 50K. And then the Idaho case came up where them kids were murdered. And I did a video on that. And I got such great response, Pete, that's when I decided to do just true crime. That case made me do true crime. And then I bloomed up to where I am now. I mean, it just went nuts. Like people started following me over that.
You found your content. A lot of people will just they'll just try to stream or they'll just try to make videos, but they're just trying to recycle what someone else is doing or maybe what they think is popular at the moment or the current trend. Right. But what you did, Dan, you found your specific calling. Like, I mean, I don't know how you would define it, but I would say like this is one of your purposes in life. I would say this is something you're born to do. You're born to become the crime solver. You were born to have the minor details. You're now living the life that the 20-year-old version of you was forging. You had to take years to forge this. And so thank you for that, man. You're like I've told you many times, I look up to you and I know you look up to me in different ways too, because I've been on some cool movies and TV shows and done cool things, but we can all be inspired by each other. And what you just said about luck is absolutely true. Luck is when preparation meets the opportunity. You know, I didn't get lucky in my career until I moved to Atlanta and then started working in the film industry. Then suddenly everyone's like, wow, you're lucky. You're working with Tom Cruise and Tom Hanks and Ice Cube. And I said, no, this is not luck. This is hard work and calculated action. You know, I put myself here. And much love to Isaiah. I say Isaiah in the comments. Thank you for all our fans tuning in. Everyone go follow Danny Miner right now on all platforms.
Pete, and you're 100% right. I mean, people look at me like, I'm going to be honest with you, with this TikTok ban, I was getting some hate stuff. People are saying, good, go get a real fucking job. Go get a real job. And I feel like saying to people, do you realize how hard it is to be a content creator? You have no clue what I have to do. I have to come up with at least 4 or 5 videos a day. I have to come up with that content every single day. Because if I don't post every day, people will forget about me. So you have to post every day. People have no idea how hard this is. And you just don't post a video and it goes. There's different techniques to get a video to go. And people don't realize that. You know, they don't.
They have no idea, man. And I saw the hate you endured. And I love the way that you handle the haters and the ops, as I like to call them. You've actually helped me grow and mature a lot. Because I used to just lash out at them. I used to just say, oh, well, you're just a sad, pathetic troll. You just wish you could do what we're doing, so that's why you're hating. But now I kind of do what you do. I kind of make light out of it. Like, what did you say one time? You're like, yeah, I can't help it that I'm this good looking. I can't help it I'm this charismatic. You know, and guess what? At the end of the day, it is true that they are kind of sad and pathetic to reach out and try to hate on someone else, but you can also turn them. How many haters and trolls do you think are now following you and that are now your fans? Probably a lot.
I'll be honest with you. I would say about 80% of the trolls that make fun out of me follow me.
Now
80% of them.
And it's like, they hate you so much, man, but they're watching you every day. And
every day.
Shout out to David Sahadi, Chattanooga, Tennessee, wrestling legend in the building. David Sahadi, thank you so much for tuning in. Shout out to Sahadi and Jonathan Gordon. It's so great to see some of my followers come over here and some of my personal friends that are tuning into this show tonight. So thank you guys for joining.
I'll be honest with you, Pete. Like, I can see how many people are watching us. We've been consistently good tonight. There's a consistent good following in here. It really is.
This is only with the week promo. I guess we can just talk about it now, but eventually I'd like to propose the idea of me being a regular guest host with you, because we had so much fun in Vegas. Remember when we were at Rick's Pawn Shop and we went live? We were going to go live for 5 minutes. We ended up going live for like an hour and a half, didn't we?
And Pete, you're in. And when you want to be a co-host with me all the time, you're in.
I love it, brother. I love it, man.
Yeah, anytime. And I'm going to add, I was thinking, honestly, I think these podcasts with more voices are even better. Definitely. So honestly, I would like to get this podcast where there's 3 or 4 of us on here.
Yeah, beautiful.
Honestly, I think the bigger, the better, because you have an opinion. I have an opinion. Somebody else has an opinion.
Absolutely.
I know Angela wants to come on the podcast. Yeah, I know Debbie wants to come on the podcast. Yeah. So I think, the more the merrier. I think it works when you have different voices and different opinions, and people want to hear from different people. I think the best podcasts are when you have 3, 4 people. I really do.
Absolutely. If I'm not mistaken, Joe Rogan is still probably the number 1, right? He's got the number 1 podcast in terms of streams, I believe.
No.
Oh, he doesn't. Who is the number 1?
Wait to hear this, man. He just lost it to Jason Kelce's wife.
No way.
Yes, Jason Kelce used to play for the Eagles. His wife, the last 2 weeks, had the number 1 podcast.
No way. Oh my God.
Yes, he lost it twice the last 2 weeks. So all right to the females out there, the female podcasters.
Hey, shout out to all the ladies. I guess things can change. Well, I was going to say that I thought Joe was holding that title for so long, and it's partly because he's got all the brands. He already started off with the Hollywood fame. He started off with the resources to get it going. He had the networking. But, I mean, that's amazing. That's news to me that we now have a female in the lead as the number 1 podcaster. I do want to hear some female voices, too, because I feel like, in general, a lot of these podcasts are very male dominant. So I love our ladies, and, we got to let the ladies talk, too.
Yeah, Angela said she wants in. She wants in with us.
Hey, well, yes. Hey, I'm all about it, and I love to see the progress and growth. I'm a person who I love to help nurture other people and inspire other people. There are some people in life, like the trolls that we're talking about, who just like to break down. I just like to build up. I like to entertain and build people up.
I agree. I'm the same way. And you know what, Pete, I don't know if people realize this, and I know we're going on along about this, but we'll get off it. But people don't realize when they come in your comments and say, you're this, you're that, you're no good, you're this, they're just trying to stop you because they can't fucking do it themselves. And they're jealous of you and they want to stop you. Yeah. It's exactly what happens.
When I left that small county that I grew up in, I left my small town to move to Atlanta. I noticed that suddenly, instead of getting an overwhelming support that I thought I would get, I got an overwhelming amount of hatred right away. As soon as I posted my first screenshot of myself in a movie with Ice Cube, Barbershop 3, I was playing a Chicago cop. The hate that came in was insane. And I'm talking.
You were in Barbershop 3 as a cop.
Yeah, I played a Chicago cop, so I was protecting.
I'm going to watch that tonight. So I can see you, man.
Yeah, I was just at the very beginning, in the beginning scene. But for 40 takes, I got to stare down Ice Cube as I was driving the car, and I was just staring him down, giving the mean look. I was just, I was a cop, and I was suspecting him of something at his actual barbershop. And so it was an honor, man. And then after the end of that filming, I walked up to Ice Cube and I said, hey, man, I don't really hate you. I just want you to know that. He's like, oh, you're a good actor, man. So being called a good actor by Mr. Ice Cube was incredible. But the hate that I got from these people in the small town was overwhelming. And I realized at that moment in 2015 that these people, they are jealous. They hate us because they ain't us, as James Franco movie. They hate us because they're like, man, I can't do that. I don't believe I can do that. And you're doing that. So I'm going to try to make you mad. I'm going to try to make you quit. I want you to give up. But I'm like, no, man, you can't phase me. I'm meant to be here. This is my destiny, you know?
Exactly. And you know what, Pete? Listen, we got 20 minutes left. I know we talked about all of this. We got to
Yeah,
get into crime a little bit.
let's
But
do it.
before we do the last 15 minutes of crime, let's
Yeah.
take 5 minutes
Okay.
because you were in one of the most iconic scenes in TV history. People
Yes.
don't realize that. That is going to go down in TV history when Glenn gets killed by Negan hitting him over the head with his club. I
Yeah.
mean, it was like, how was that scene? I mean, that had to be tenseful, right?
Man, yes. First of all, shout out. I see Jonathan Gordon with some great comments. Thank you all for your comments. I do want to say that being part of that was TV history. At that moment when we were filming, we knew that episode was going to be the #1 TV show on air across all platforms at that time. And
Right.
so we had to sign a $1 million, I'm not kidding, a $1 million NDA on set every single day. So we had to say, like, we even asked, we were just extras on that show. A lot of us didn't have $1 million, me, myself included. And we said, so we're literally signing ourselves away for $1 million. And the assistant director said, yes, we will sue you or your family or anyone that we can get liable for $1 million worth of assets if you reveal any secrets. They were that serious about it, man. It was top secret. So the energy was crazy. We saw, and everyone's seen the show by now. If you haven't seen it, you can go catch up. If you haven't seen it, pause this podcast. But we saw Negan actually hit every single character with the bat, and he did a fake kill on every character because they wanted to throw everyone off. But man, it was intense. It was just, it was so, like, there were tears on set, a lot of tears. Like, the main cast was crying profusely, and not just for the camera. They were crying off set too. Glenn was crying. Wow. The character was gone, you know, and so it made us so emotional too. We're like, man, like, I don't know this guy, but I'm getting, you know, I got something in my eye, you know.
And you know what? And what people don't realize, because they're probably forgetting, that scene was going to be the first scene of the new season. Yeah. So all summer long, people were thinking, who died? Who did he kill? Remember that? So we didn't know who he was going to kill, who died. So what you're telling me, Pete, is on set, everyone died. They didn't really let you know who died.
Absolutely. I'm on set. I'm telling you, we saw Rick get hit with the bat. We saw Carl. We saw Michonne. Every single character was hit with the bat and killed for at least 1 or 2 takes to throw off everyone, including the extras, including the crew. Now, with that being said, we kind of had a feeling that it was going to be Glenn and Abraham because the most takes were done on those 2 characters. The most cameras were done. And I'm talking about 5 or 6 camera setups on every single shot, as well as a drone shot, as well as a giant jib arm on a techno crane. I mean, we had amazing camera setups to get all these footage. And it was just, we literally, though, we were still guessing. It was just surreal. But even then we were guessing. We're like, okay, I think it's Glenn that died, but I just saw Negan hit Carl. So maybe it's Carl now. I don't know. So we even didn't know for sure. We just had our suspicions. But it was amazing.
I'll be honest with you. As a fan of that show, because I am a fan of that show, I'm watching the shows that came after it. I'm watching Daryl's show. I'm watching Negan's show now. I'm watching Rick and Michonne's show. So I was a big fan. I'll be honest with you. That scene was hard to watch.
Me too, brother. Me too. So I actually started season 1, episode 1 of Walking Dead after I had worked on the show. So after we filmed that for probably 2 weeks directly filming that, I took a break. I went home and I binge watched every single episode of Walking Dead because I said, man, I got to know what happens in this story. I got to figure this out. So by the time I got to the end of season 5 and even season 6, when my character started, like, I was just like, I was on the edge of my seat. And then I was like, man, that's pretty messed up how the producers did that to us. That's pretty messed up how they did the viewers. But at the same time, what did they do? They captured some of the best activation of people's attention spans ever. I mean, I had people from Toronto to Tokyo to Germany messaging me like, hey, I'll send you $500 if you tell me what happens. Like, people were offering me cash. And I was like, no, bro, I signed $1 million NDA. I can't do it, man. I can't do it. But it was just so amazing, man. Oh, and really quick, on a separate topic, Jonathan Gordon just wanted me to mention how I played Ken Shamrock's doctor in a wrestling show in Las Vegas at Sam's Town. So I don't know if you guys know Ken Shamrock. If you don't, check him out.
I do. Yes.
Yeah, amazing. He got a fireball thrown in his eye, and Jonathan Gordon was there, and of course David Sahadi. and David Sahadi allowed me to play the doctor. So I actually got to like take Shamrock out of the ring and treat him. And man, it was just another amazing experience, you know? So,
You know, it's funny that you're talking about wrestling. My buddy out here, he sponsors like this independent wrestling thing here once a month in Vegas. He
okay.
asked me to be a manager or a wrestler. He said, it'd be awesome if you did it, dude. I'm like, I don't know if I could take a hit at 56 years old. You think they could throw me out of the ring? I don't think so, man. I don't think I'd get back in the ring, but I could be a manager. I'd be a good manager.
I think you're in pretty good shape, but you would have to ask yourself, are you willing to put yourself through the ringer? Would you be a heel or would you be a hero? Do you think you'd be a good guy or a bad guy, Danny, if you did
I'll be honest with you. I think I'd play a better bad guy.
I think so too. And I say that because of your resemblance to Negan. You know, I feel like, look, Angela says, oh, God.
I even put the hair up like Negan today, man. I got it all today.
I love it, brother. I love it, man. So, yeah, I'll have to come watch your friend's wrestling show sometime when I'm in Vegas again. And, hey, you know, maybe you and me can be guest stars on it one day. Maybe we can, like, play a tag team. That would be awesome. Who knows?
Hey, you know what? I just thought of it. Me and you were at the Rio on 4th of July. Remember that pool party? That was fun.
Yes. Oh, man, dude. We had such good times at the Rio. I miss it, man. I miss it.
And listen, I got another place. When you come back to Vegas, I got another place. Okay. Resorts World. Okay.
Yes, I saw your video. You were in the spa, or you had a nice, like, there's like a crystal, like a waterfall area or something. I can't remember.
Their pool and their hot tub is opened 24/7, not 24/7, 365 days a year. It's a heated pool, so you could swim in Vegas outside in the winter. It's awesome.
We got to go, man. We got to go. I can't wait to be back. I will be back very soon. I don't have an exact date. I've been doing a lot of projects. Some of them are secret projects that I can't talk about. But like one cool thing that I'll just go ahead and let everyone know really quick before we talk about some crime. I got pulled away from Vegas because I got hired by Mr. Beast for the biggest unscripted reality show in Amazon Prime history. It's called Beast Games. We just released episode 7 of Beast Games. So we started filming that pilot in Vegas, which is where I got hired. And then we went to Toronto, Canada to film the majority of the show. So that was an amazing opportunity for me. Obviously, Danny, I hope you're not mad at me, but I had to leave Vegas for that. I had to take that opportunity, man. You know?
Dude, you got to do what you got to do, man. You definitely got to do what you got to do. So listen, we got 13 minutes left. We got to talk. Listen, it is a crime show, so these 13 minutes.
Yeah.
We got to talk quick crime. This is a good one. And the ladies, stay on for this one. Stay on for this one. We're going to want your opinion.
Yes.
There is a lawmaker, I believe, in Missouri. Okay? He passed a bill, Pete, that, and while he didn't pass a bill, he put a bill into the House saying that men cannot have orgasms. They can't masturbate unless they're trying to have a baby. And it's going to be a fine of up to $10,000 if you masturbate without having a baby.
I'm speechless right now. What? Oh, my God. Okay, I need this senator's name so I can write him a letter, first of all. And secondly, what about the women? Is this only for the men? Is that what the proposal is?
This is only for the men because right now the abortion thing is a big thing, right?
Preservation and fertility, right? That's what it's all about, right?
Yeah, so this guy, you know, of course he did it serious with a smile on his face, but he's saying that men cannot masturbate anymore. And if you're caught masturbating, it's a $10,000 fine. And listen, it gets better. Think about, see, Pete, you're younger than me, but when I was young, we used to have Cinemax at night, right? Do you remember that? We used to call it Skinamax.
Skinamax, of course. Of course I remember that, brother. Yeah.
So listen, don't get any temptations when you're watching that. If you touch yourself, you're getting a $10,000 fine.
Hey, you know, I'm a good boy. I'm a good man. You know, I'm not saying I do that anyway, but hey, I mean, I want to know how they're enforcing that, first of all. And I see comments right now. Jonathan Gordon says, I heard about that. That's crazy, man. Like, the things
I heard they're checking for calluses on your hand.
Really?
I heard you have to show them your hand, especially your right hand, if you're right-handed.
How do they know which one? How do they know which one you're using? Oh my God, dude! The laws out here. Now, if that makes it to the law, I don't know if I'm going to go to Missouri anymore. I don't know. I mean, I'm just not sure, honestly.
The article, I swear to God, Pete, the article says blue balls on it. The article says blue balls.
Wow. You know, I
See,
mean,
Skinamax. We gotta be. Angela, remember Skinamax?
members, yeah. Hey, I'm all about health and fitness, but I don't know if that law is it. I don't know if that law is the right direction or not. I'm gonna say thumbs down on that one. Hey, man.
And listen, Pete, here's the thing, man. Like back in my day, like they would show these movies like on Skinamax. We called it, instead of Cinemax, we called it
Oh,
Skinamax.
of
They would
course.
show these movies after midnight. And
Right.
then, like, if your parents didn't pay for it, it would
Yeah.
be like all like lines and
Yeah.
stuff. You couldn't see it. We would try to look through the lines to see if we could see, like, I think I see nudity. I think I see a boob. Like, when we were kids, man, that was our thing.
Oh yeah, I had a few friends, and I would go over to their house, and they would have those channels, and I'd watch them. We just had like 3, 9, and 12. We only had 3 channels, so at my personal house growing up, we did not have any of it. But then when I go to a friend's house, of course, it was on. Like one of my friends, he actually had the Playboy channel, and I was like, "Wow, this is a channel." I was like, "What?" I had a 16-year-old boy. I was like, "Oh my god, this is." I was like, "What?" you know. I was like, "Oh my god," that was my reaction. So, man, dude, these new laws. I don't know if the senator remembers Skinamax. I don't know if that senator has ever been a young adolescent kid.
That's gonna be trouble. Like, guys are gonna have to like leave their hands off themselves.
Wow. I hate to be. I'm glad you're not in law enforcement anymore, Danny, because I hate to be the officers that are enforcing that and arresting people after the fact. I hate to be those officers who are slapping cuffs on people's hands who have just been busted, if you know what I mean. Like,
You'd be like, "Yo, your hands are a little sticky. Put the handcuffs on yourself. Put the handcuffs on yourself. I ain't touching your hands."
We got to save the babies. We got to save the babies. Dude, funniest law ever, man. I've heard some funny laws, but that might be the most hilarious proposal I've ever heard in my life. Oh, and Angela says women too, so I don't know if it's going towards.
I didn't read the article if it said women. I thought it just said men. I'm not sure. I thought it was men cannot masturbate unless they're having a child. That's it.
So what we know is Angela cannot go to Missouri. Is that what we're saying? Okay. You and me have to stay out of Missouri. Oh my God. Oh, she said it's okay you don't wash your hands. Man, she's talking smack today. She's spicy. Spicy today. Good thing we love you, though. We all love you.
Who made this law? The Vatican.
The Vatican. Yeah. It sounds like it. Oh my God, yes. Avi Ezra. That's actually the actor I was just talking about from out in LA who I was talking to earlier. So he actually thanks for tuning in, Avi. Yeah, exactly. It sounds like a Vatican law. So, dude, are we progressing as a society, or are we going back down the drain? Are we downward spiraling? I mean, I don't know sometimes, bro. I don't know.
Dude, listen, I don't know. Listen, Pete, the only way they're going to be able to get men not to do that in Missouri, they got to get rid of OnlyFans. How the hell is a guy going to not touch himself on OnlyFans?
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, you're absolutely right, man. I mean, yeah, that's the law they're going to have to pass first. If not, then everyone's doomed. The state of Missouri, it's going to get scared real quick. Population 0, it's going to have the opposite effect of what they're trying to do. I mean, that's just.
Could you imagine him like opening up and like, showing this bill to everybody? Well, men can't jerk off anymore. This is my new bill. Like, how do you even do that with a straight face, Pete? How do you do it with a straight face?
Maybe this guy's a great actor, or maybe he's really a comedian undercover as a politician. Maybe that's what it is. This is all his game. He's just trying to go viral. Maybe I mean, because he can't be serious, right? He can't be serious. When I gamble, do I wash my hands after? Yes, Angela. When I was living in Vegas, I was frequently washing my hands. There is some very highly touched surfaces all over Vegas that I did not trust. I did not trust those chips.
Listen, they see me play poker, okay? And I touch everything. But honestly, to her point, she's kind of right. Like, them poker chips are so disgusting. Did you ever look at them?
I mean, I haven't looked too closely, thankfully, just because I don't want to see what's on there. But on that note, Danny, do you remember 2020 when everyone was like, "Oh my God, don't touch anything. Like, don't touch. Throw your change away. Throw your dollar bills away. Like, don't keep your hands in your pockets at all time." Imagine if that passed in 2020. It actually might have passed back then, right?
Oh my God. Yeah.
Like in 2020, everyone would be like, okay, we're saving the world. Like, okay, good job, guys.
Listen,
What other?
I got one last thing. We got 6 minutes. I want to ask your opinion on this. All right.
Yeah,
And it's kind of serious, but it's kind of, what we'll make it fun like we always do.
of course.
Like, I am not, and I'm not taking either side or Democratic or Republican,
Right.
but these friggin' pardons, man, are out of control. I mean, I don't know if you guys know this. Biden pardoned a guy that murdered an 8-year-old and his mother. He was supposed to be in jail to 2033, and he's getting out in July. He murdered an 8-year-old and a fucking mother, and he's getting out. And Pete, it's just out of control. And Trump did the same thing. He just pardoned 1,500 people, and the guy got arrested the next day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I just think that
It's insane.
pardons were for people that were wrongly convicted or sentenced too harshly, not to get your buddy's buddy out of jail. Both sides are guilty of this. Do you agree, Pete?
I completely agree, Danny. I think, first of all, a even bigger thing to talk about is the fact that we in America have about 1% of the world's population, but we have about 25% of the world's prisoners. So I think our incarceration system is already a little flawed. We can talk about that on a future episode when we have more time. But as far as these pardons, yes, I agree with you completely without taking any sides. I'm just a human being who loves humans. I don't call myself any particular side. I'm just a guy who loves humans. I love people. I don't always like people, but I have a genuine love for humans overall. But you're right, man. If we're just letting everyone go who's committing these horrible, heinous crimes, then what message are we setting? Where is the standard? Where is the accountability for future criminals to prevent them from committing these crimes if they know a pardon is just waiting on a silver platter?
Pete, could you imagine like knowing this mother and 8-year-old, like them being your relatives, and knowing that the guy that murdered them was released for political reasons? Dude, I don't know what I'd do. Honest to God, you would see me on every fucking news station. I would be standing out in front of the Capitol. I swear to God, screaming on a box. I'm telling you.
Man, all I can say is I'm glad it's not me in that situation, because there are some things in life that are so horrible you don't want to experience them to know how you would react. But I can only imagine, bro. I can only imagine. I mean, just hearing about it, some of these things, it makes the hair stand up on my neck. Like, some of these things make me want to flip over tables and like just.
Me too.
Like, I see your passion when you're doing your videos, Danny, when you're doing your actual crime solver videos and you are talking about these brand new cases that are developing. I see you literally wanting to pull your hair out sometimes. So I get it. I mean, people like you and me who actually have a genuine care for humanity, it strikes like a discordant chord in our nature. It resonates with our energy bad. It doesn't make sense. Like, there are some things, I mean, I can't tell everyone what's right or wrong. Neither can you. We can tell them our opinions, but there are some things that we all just have to agree on. Like, whoa, dude, this favoritism, this nepotism, and this whole handout mentality, it's got to stop. We've got to do better. I agree. Absolutely. And I see a lot of comments. I'm not seeing all of them. I see Jonathan Gordon mentioning when I talk to you. I see Angela talking about how America is a joke to these other countries. That's true. And I see Avi asking about what do we think about the JFK files and the MLK Jr. files coming out.
I love it.
Yeah, I think we have a lot to talk about on our future episodes because, I think that stuff needs to be uncovered. Absolutely.
And listen, I say open up the UFO files.
Man, they're there on the desk. We might as well open and talk about them.
Let's open all these files. So I totally agree with it. Listen, we got a minute and like 20 seconds here, Pete. I want to thank you for coming on. I want you to be a guest host all the time. You are welcome all the time. It'd be great. I think me and you would put on a great show. Absolutely. And maybe add 1 or 2 people. Honestly, I think it would. The more voices, the better podcast. I always think that. I really do.
Yes. Thank you, Danny. And I'll message you after this. Let's talk about that. I'd like to actually start getting that scheduled on a regular basis. So much love.
Sounds good. Pete, I'm going to end us now. Please stay on and I'll talk to you for a little bit.
Much love. Everyone, please follow Danny Miner. Everyone who tuned in, please follow Danny. I just want to say
Same thing with Pete. Follow Pete. Yeah. And what I'll do is I'll put you up on these videos when I bring them down. I told you I have like 10 clips of this.
Okay, awesome. Perfect, brother. I'm looking forward to it, man. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you, Danny. And I'll talk
to you guys. Great episode.
Yes. I'll see you guys in the